Well, we are driving the Murano Nissan, and I have driven this car extensively in the past couple of weeks, and it's a perfect family car. It is gorgeous. It is loaded with wonderful safety features, great technology. It's beautiful. The outside has such smooth lines that it just looks different from other cars in the category. It separates itself by the design. The technology features are amazing, and it's very comfortable. The back seat is for passengers. Plenty of room up front. It handles easily. You don't feel the weight of the car. It just flows as you drive it. And why don't we hear about some of the technology in it? Like, Steve, what do you think are some of the most important things?
Absolutely, Mary. One of the things you want to point out is the 0.31 coefficient of drag in the vehicle. We've made it very aerodynamic, which improves its energy or its fuel efficiency. It's much more fuel efficient than the previous generation. It's about 20% more fuel efficient. So we're now getting a combined of about 24 miles per gallon. So that 0.31 coefficient of drag is important. In fact, that's comparable to some sports cars like the Porsche 911. So it's that's a nice technology feature there to mention, as well as the zero gravity seats that we're sitting in, Mary. And I don't know if you had a chance to experience and enjoy those seats, but if you're on a long trip, it's very nice to in these seats. You don't feel the fatigue that you would.
Right.
And they're NASA inspired zero gravity seats, so they're 3 points of support on the seat as opposed to 2 points of support. So that's another nice technology feature. But you were mentioning the safety. There's all of our safety shield technology that goes into this vehicle. We've got the round view monitor, but it's got moving object detection that goes along with that. So it helps you maneuver in and out of some tight spots, but if there's something that's moving, it'll detect that and let you know that there's something that's moving in your path of travel. But there's also a lot of other things, like a blind spot warning. So if you're trying to change lanes, it'll warn you with a visual, but it'll also, if you start to change lanes and you hit your blinker, it'll also audibly warn you about that. It has intelligent cruise control. It has forward emergency braking, cross traffic alert. It's the predictive forward collision warning as well. So a lot of safety technology that is built into this Murano, this next generation Murano.
I was just noticing, I just looked down, I had all the information in big numbers, which the older you get, the more you appreciate big numbers to read. It's easily read, which is just fabulous.
That is something good to point out there. You got an 8-inch screen there, and we did make the fonts bigger and clearer for people to see.
Yep. Which is a safety feature. I mean, it definitely is something that you need. And the other nice thing about this car is handling beautifully. It's a how big? What's the wheelbase on this?
We increased the length and the width of the vehicle from the previous generation, so you do have a much more better feel. We improved the ride performance of the vehicle, so it is an improvement from the previous generation, which also was a great driving vehicle, but it's even nicer now.
It is. This drives. It's easily handled. You can handle it easily. It hugs the curves. I have been in numerous parking lots, and it brakes. It knows how to brake. One of the problems that I always have with cars with like this is turning in and out of the parking lot. Where it takes 10 different turns before you can get in or out. And when I was driving this earlier, it was very easy. You didn't have, that embarrassment of having everyone wait for you to be able to maneuver out of a parking space. This was in and out. It was very terrific. And with all the mirrors and everything, it helped as well. I mean, so it was technology meshed with just a well-designed car.
A lot of times it's the little things, but it has a very good turning radius, and that probably helps with your in and out. Some cars don't quite have that. Some trucks don't have a good turning radius, but this one does. You can really turn sharp with the vehicle.
Okay, that's a technical term, turning radius. I can just tell you what works. You can get in and out.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Now, for families, how big is the back? How much can you put stuff in?
We did improve the space in the back. And, I have to get some numbers for you, but it is bigger than the previous generation. So you do have a lot of room in the back there to put in groceries or luggage,
Yeah.
or whatever you want. Just a nice size.
This is a great road trip car.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people don't realize too, you were talking about the look of the vehicle. It's based on the Resonance concept vehicle that we brought out in Detroit back in 2013. And a lot of times when you bring a concept vehicle, end up bringing it to market, it looks dramatically different than what you initially showed with the concept vehicle. But here, the Murano, this generation, our third generation Murano, it looks an awful lot like the Resonance concept that we showed back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So it really has, it is really the design template for the future of Nissan product. And it has that very emotional look to it. I think it has a very sexy look to it. And it's got the V-motion grille. I think you mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's also got the floating roof on the top that you also now see on the next generation Maxima that we're coming out with this summer. So it really has a nice look, emotional, sexy look to it that we're excited about, and it does indicate what the future of designs will look like for Nissan.
Plus, I mean, how many family cars can you say have a sexy look? I think Nissan is the one. It should be People Magazine's sexiest car. But look at, I mean, we're going through curves at a speed that I normally wouldn't be doing, and it is handling it, and my foot's not on the brake, and it is just moving and grooving.
It is one of our best driving vehicles, I think. And one of the things that you see it in some of the advertising too, is inside you kind of have a social lounge feel, if you will.
Yes.
And you've got this big, wide, panoramic window up top here that opens up and it allows a lot of light, and it gives you an open space feel. You've got more leg room.
Jeez.
A little tight spot here.
God.
You've got more leg room in the back than we had in the previous generation. You've got place here to put your phones and your whatever you have electronic wise. You can plug it in your USB port with your own vents. You've got a wide console here to put stuff on in, and then you can't see it now, but you've got ambient lighting in here that is really cool.
Yes.
So it's a great feature. I know you've seen it, Mary, when we drove the vehicle. That ambient lighting is just neat. So it gives you that lounge feel in a vehicle.
It's very spacious, very airy, which again, when you're on a long trip, it makes it less tiring. There's less of a fatigue factor. You don't feel like you're in a capsule. And to the point that Steve made, I drove another car this week, and there's absolutely no room up front for my purse.
Right.
My key, the keys. It really didn't have much for up front, and that's important. I mean, I hate reaching back to get my purse or putting it on the floor. I want compartments, and this has it in spades.
Yeah, ease and convenience of getting to things that you need. That's important, and it makes the vehicle a little more safe too.
Exactly. And if you've got kids going, they have places for their videos and their machines and everything.
Mm-hmm. We talked about the seats, the zero gravity seats. We also have the quick heating seats too they'll actually heat up faster, and they'll actually heat up the more sensitive parts of your body as well, which is very interesting. We talk about technology here. We talked about the safety shield and the 0.31 coefficient of drag and all, but that's an interesting technology feature that's in the vehicle now, along with the zero gravity seats, is it'll heat up faster and it'll heat up the more sensitive areas of your body. So that's kind of a luxury premium type feature to have in a vehicle.
Even in the summer, if I have a car that has heated seats, I turn it on, and it's nice, relaxing, almost like a massage for my back. It's sort of like, just sort of muscles, just intense.
Absolutely.
Now this has every belt and whistle that you would want in a family car. It has the technology, it has impeccable design, it has a roominess and a spaciousness that makes you feel like you're in a super luxury, super duper car, and it's incredibly reasonably priced. You have the Nissan quality, which is top of the line. I hope you don't kill a duck.
But and you talk about price. If I may, you can get into this vehicle for around $29,500.
Are you kidding?
No. I mean,
Wow.
yes. No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can get into it for $29,500. So a premium vehicle like this, what a value.
This is not a $29,000 car. I mean, this is truly a top of the line quality value that you won't find elsewhere.
We've sold, since the Murano first came out in 2002, we've sold globally almost 1 million, about 900,000, and we've sold 700,000 up here in the U.S.
Wow.
So they're popular here in the U.S. And I think it's for the reasons we've talked about here. Is it's a good value. Where can you get a vehicle like this with all these amenities, with this look and feel,
Yeah.
inside and out, with all this technology, for starting at $29,500? It's just hard to find.